Okay.
Did you get the motion language?
No, I don't have it. I'm going to call this special meeting of the Board of Trustees of Harlingen Consolidated Independent School District to order. This meeting was posted as required by the Open Meetings Records Act, and we do have a quorum. And the first thing we will do is, please, we'll ask for a moment of silence. Thank you very much. And I'll go ahead and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, if everybody would stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Ms. Leffner, do we have any public comments for agenda topics?
Mr. President, there are no requests for public comments for agenda topics.
All right, we'll move on to item number 3. Consideration for approval of out-of-state travel for Harlingen High School South, and all middle school speech, drama, debate teams to travel to the National Speech and Debate Association's National Finals in Des Moines, Iowa on June the 14th through the 21st of 2025. Ms. Leanne Ince.
Good evening, Mr. President, board members, Interim Superintendent Dr. Veronica Corton, administration and audience. We've had students from Harlingen High School South, and all 5 middle schools qualify for the National Speech and Debate Association National Finals to be held in Des Moines, Iowa, June 14th through the 21st. And I am here on behalf of their coaches requesting permission for us to travel and compete at that tournament in June.
Mr. President, first of all, congratulations. That's awesome. And I'd like to make a motion for approval as presented.
All right. Moved by Dr. Muniz, seconded by Mr. Hymas. Any further discussion?
I have a question.
Sure.
Just a point of clarification, and congratulations, and I'm very excited about this. Is this approval to travel, or is it approval to cover costs of the travel,
Both.
or both?
Both.
Both.
Thank you,
Both.
just to be sure. Okay, thank you.
We're expecting a lot of awards like you always bring home, okay?
Yes.
A lot of firsts and seconds. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is item number 4, consideration and approval of a resolution by the Board of Trustees of the Harlingen Consolidated Independent School District authorizing the issuance of obligations designated as Harlingen Consolidated Independent School District Maintenance Tax Notes, Series 2025, making provision for the payment thereof by the annual levy of the district's maintenance and operation ad valorem taxes, and other matters incident and related thereto. Mrs. Ida Ambrose.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members, Interim Superintendent Dr. Corton, senior team, and members of the audience. Agenda item 4 is consideration and approval of the maintenance tax notes for Series 2025. Through our financial advisors, Estrada and Hinojosa, we solicited and received bids today. We are happy to say that we have received 8 bids ranging from 3.62082 true interest cost to 4.104613%. We are recommending Robert W. Baird and Company Incorporated at 3.62 true interest cost. Mr. Hinojosa from Estrada Hinojosa is here to go over the boards and answer any questions the board members might have. Please welcome Mr. Hinojosa.
Good evening. Noah Hinojosa for the record, and my partners, Miguel de los Santos, Dr. Miguel de los Santos, and Dr. Magallanes. And couldn't tell you, but congratulations. You should be real proud. The fact that we got so many bids really helped with the transparency of the process. Back in December, we had 1 bid. I took the sort of decision saying to my colleagues, hey, let's pull that back. I want to see a clear and transparent process. Dr. Corton, great job with the rating agencies. despite the fact that we had some adjustments on that. What was more important was to tell the story the way we know it. And I think the fact that we received 8 bids pretty much shows you that the investment community is having a lot of faith in you doing the right thing and in your staff, more importantly. So if anything, all I can tell you is that the difference between in the bid that we got back in December versus today, we saved about close to $300,000 getting a better bid today. So kudos to you, and our recommendation is for you to approve the resolution. And I'll stand to have any, answer any questions you may have.
I have a question, but go ahead.
Go ahead, Nolan. Go ahead.
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for the kind words to district management. I think they've done a phenomenal job, and it seems like it was a great decision to wait. I guess my question, just in your experience, because we don't have much experience in this is what you do for a living, obviously, but there's a pretty big range as far as the different bids here. Is that pretty typical in a deal like this? Or, I mean, did the range surprise you, or is it not a broad range?
I mean, if you look at it, it does surprise me between the first and the second bid. Robert Baird, I believe, is from Madison, Wisconsin, and D.A. Davidson is from Montana, and that's a 23 basis point spread. I always look at the winning bid and the cover bid. And that in itself is a pretty wide spread. Normally I see spreads of about 5 or 7 basis points. And what that is basically is the fellow who's buying the bonds, think about a construction project and you go out for bids. And this guy says, well, if you look at the next page, on page 5 of the presentation, you'll see the interest cost of $7,860,000 over the life. But if we're dealing with a construction project, the winning bid here saying it's going to cost you $7,860,000 to finance $16.5 million. All right, and the second bid, D.A. Davidson, at a $385,000 probably would have cost you a good $400,000 or $450,000 more in interest cost. So think of the fella who is giving you the lowest rate. Now he's going to turn tomorrow when we tell him, by the way, these bonds are yours officially. Now he's got to go out and find investors at that rate. So the only thing I can tell you today, anybody who's buying bonds, as an investor, he wants or she wants more yield. And the winning bidder here saying, I'm confident with the name of Harlingen ISD, with the ratings we got, that at 362 I can sell it for a profit. Now I got people in our bank too that do this. And I was telling the guys that my guys sometimes can get very aggressive at buying bonds too. I don't want it to be too aggressive, but that's not your problem. Your problem is to present yourself in the buying, in the community that, hey, I got an $18 million loan thereabouts, and what rate are you going to give me if I borrow the money from you? And we've been as transparent as we can be, and we're glad one of them got really bullish and gave us a very low rate. I'll take it any day. Anytime.
Absolutely, and I guess that's exactly my point, because, I mean, you even looked at some folks that do a lot of business, all these do a lot of business in Texas, Hilltop and some of the, Frost Bank, the highest bid, that's almost 50 basis points higher, than, so that's why I was just thinking like, wow, that's a big deal. But, and then my last question is about, so this Robert Baird or whatever, 100% confidence in them? They've been in the business forever, no issues there or anything?
No,
Okay.
none of these people are,
Awesome.
Baird, Piper, Hilltop, all of them are good. But, they all have certain tolerance levels. And, I know you're good, but give me the lowest rate, and that's what we're doing here today. So, congratulations.
And how much time do we have to pull the trigger on this before we,
Well, today is pretty much the final. And then
Today
after
is-
this, I guess, when are we closing? So
so this is guaranteed until that date or whatever? Got it.
No, it's
Thank you.
guaranteed tonight, it's set.
Sure, got
Once
it.
you sell it, it's done. And the AG approval comes in a little shortly thereafter.
Thank you.
So we do need a motion.
Move approval as presented.
I have a motion by Dr. Pettis,
Second.
second by Dr. Muniz. Is there any further discussion? I just want to compliment you too, because we started like back in November, December, and
Sorry about that.
that's all right.
Go ahead.
You all have always done us right, and we really appreciate all your hard work. And I mean, we've come a long ways in 60 days. So, and it's due to your hard work and efforts on our behalf. So thank you so much.
Well, I will say this again, it's a team effort. You have very competent staff, and they keep us on our toes, and we applaud you for supporting them too, so, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hinojosa.
Thank you.
Any further comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you so much.
I don't think, is there anything further today? All right. So if there's nothing further, we stand adjourned.